and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for the weekly purchases, that time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, and of course, that old outlaw, Waylon Jennings. It is the weekly purchases, 4th of July week edition, and I'm just rocking the 4th of July shirt. I just said, you know what, I don't wear this the rest of the year very often, so I better get the most I can out of it. So I wore it for 2 toy news. Yes, we had Toy News Friday, Toy News Saturday, now weekly purchases Sunday. Got to get the most out of your molds. Got to get the most out of your Western shirts. Celebrating 4th of July here, and hopefully everybody had a good 4th of July. Pretty low key for me. Kids are against going to the parade. Kids are all doing that. I ended up grilling. That's what I'm planning on doing, grilling a couple of times, and I'm going to do yard work. Oh, exciting. Yes, yard work. And then unfortunately for me, my wife is leaving on Tuesday. She's going to Philadelphia for like 10 days with her sister and her mom. So I'm going to be Mr. Mom for a while with the kids, but they don't need my help anymore. So I'll give them some ramen noodles and they'll figure it out, I'm sure. But I'll be doing that. But we will have a guest host, of course, Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane sitting in with me on the Kyle Peterson Show podcast. So that should be fun, talking wrestling history, talking about his time with Harley Race, Dory Funk Jr., all points in between, his tours of Japan, his tours of the Orient, all things in between there. And of course, his action figure collecting as well. And maybe even some of his acting gigs, of course, playing Shipwreck in the G.I. Joe movie. Never forget that. And we'll talk about that. A lot to dive into with good brother Gage Octane, of course, the announcer of the Kyle Peterson Show as well. And if you're not listening or watching the Kyle Peterson Show, what are you doing? Check it out wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube each and every week, every single Tuesday. We're knocking it all down. And Patreon members get early access to all of that as well, as usual. And speaking of Patreon, new month, it is the month of July. New giveaway, a double dose of the Hulkster for 4th of July. Sure, he's a real American beer drinker is what he is. But we got Hogan ×2. We get the Target Legends exclusive, Target Legends Ultimate Edition, going to one Patreon member. Of course, Patreon, your best way to support the channel. Get in for the chance on the giveaway. You get a monthly Q&A. We're doing San Diego Comic-Con this month as a deep dive Q&A, answering your questions about everything around that. Check that out. And of course, you get all early access to my podcast, all the videos from both YouTube channels. You get early access to all those videos. You get all the bonus glamour shots. You get a lot going on over there. So check out the Patreon, support the channel. Appreciate the support, of course. And that is the giveaway this month. And I should mention jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Picked up some stuff you'll see in this very video here today. Shout out to Jays for sponsoring, of course, weekly purchases. And if you're local to the Des Moines, Iowa area, Jays has 10% off everything in their stores this weekend only. Check that out, of course. A lot going on. And San Diego Comic-Con around the corner. It's going to be a very busy month of July, and summer is just disappearing fast. It's going fast for me. I don't know about you guys. Next week, I said my wife's leaving. I got to go to Omaha before she leaves. I got to go to Omaha for a meeting. The following week, I have to go to Minneapolis for a meeting. And then you got the hustle and bustle of San Diego Comic-Con. And then I head to Chicago. I mean, there's a lot going on this month of July. So hopefully I'll survive it, just like I'm hopefully surviving 4th of July weekend like all of you guys and gals. But that's it. That's the housekeeping this week. Not a ton of stuff going on. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their 4th of July. But now we got to get down to it. We got to bring my wife in, as it's time for the question of the week. All right, time for weekly purchases, and we got an all-timer of the weekly purchases straight from the pool with Todd McFarlane. We got my wife, Angie. Angie looking only like she can look this week. You guys are in for a 4th of July treat is what this is. And Angie said, we're going to get demonetized. And, she said, do I need to change? And I said, no, you don't need to change. You're fine. You're fine. But Angie, shout out to you. Thanks for visiting with us this week.
This better not be the thumbnail.
It should be. It should be. Maybe. Oh, Angie, how are you?
Good.
Oh, my gosh. I'm doing really good, too. I'm doing really good. Angie's here straight from the pool. It's 4th of July after all. We're partying around here, of course. Angie's ready to party her weekend away, but you got to work a little bit. So.
Trying to get a new tan line. I think. See, I have one here.
Yeah, she's working those tan lines.
It's gonna have them all everywhere.
I'm a sucker for a good tan line, that's for sure. I love a good tan line. So Angie, once again, shout out to you. How can we drag this segment on for like an hour? That's what I want to know. How can we just keep dragging this on? Because it is question of the week, Angie, and this is where you usually shine every week. But I gotta disappoint everybody because Angie will not be here next week for the question of the week, as she'll be in the city of brotherly love at the corner of Sylvester and Ritter. I think that's where JYD was from. But there is the corner where the ECW Arena is there in Philadelphia, and you're not going to the Philadelphia ECW Arena?
I don't think so.
No, you said I don't even know what that is, but you're going there, and I said, Angie, you at least got to try a cheesesteak for me. Mm-hmm. So hopefully you get a couple of cheesesteaks in you. Hopefully that's all you get in you over there in the city of brotherly love. But you'll be with your sister and your mom, and you guys will just be doing a bunch of touristy things, I'm sure. But hey, if you see Angie, give her a high five, give her a fist bump, something like that, I guess. And speaking of fist bumps, Angie, tomorrow you're going to another K-pop concert.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what, 82 Major,
yes.
Right? Oh man, one of the all-time greats. A new up-and-comer. And I was blown away by this. The $50 tickets to the concert sold out. So you had to get the $75 tickets for you and the girls. And with the $75 ticket, you get to give the members a fist bump.
Yep.
That's it. No picture.
Like
no
a high five or a...
No discussion, but a high five or a fist bump is what you get to give. This is unbelievable to me for an extra $25. Oh, man. And you know what? Anybody that wants to give me a fist bump, it only costs $0.25. I'll do it for free. Angie will cost $0.25 at least.
I do chest bumps.
Chest bumps. That's right. Oh, my goodness.
I charge way more than $0.25, though.
Oh, you should. You should. That's for sure. But Angie, we'll miss you next week. And of course, we'll miss you on the podcast as well. Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane will be stepping into your place. We'll see how that ends up going there. He might steal everybody's heart and you might be replaced. You never know what might happen, but something tells me people are probably going to like you more. But it'll be fun for just a one-off with Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane. So check out the podcast. Angie, hopefully you'll watch the podcast. Maybe you listen to it on your flight. Maybe.
It'll be a lot more commentary, I'll tell you that.
There
We'll
will
have
be
a lot of back and forth.
There'll be a lot. It'll be just
fun.
two chatty Cathys going at it is what it'll be. And we'll talk about his time in the G.I. Joe movie playing Shipwreck. We'll talk about his wrestling career. We'll talk about his voiceover career. We'll talk about his Transformers collection. We'll talk about his favorite band ever, the Crash Test Dummies. We'll talk about it all over there. So much more on that and much more on Angie. Unfortunately, will be missed. But Angie, for one last time, at least for a week or so, it's time for you to do the question of the week. And if you want to be the question of the week, send your question to me and put it in the comments down below. And I'm distracted. I don't know why, but Angie.
It's your forward-facing camera.
Take it away, Angie. What's the question of the week?
Oh, my God. What does that say? Greg Stroh, 4617. Don't we know somebody by that name?
I know.
Remember when you were young and had short hair? Still an amazing person. Keep going strong. That's not even a question, is it?
And the answer to that question is yes, I do remember when I had short hair.
Is this someone you used to? You actually thought?
This is Greg Stroh. Yes, I know Greg Stroh. Greg Stroh, I say it all the time, salt of the earth. And Greg Stroh, we all have mentors in our life, and he was one of the great mentors to me. As a little kid working in the grocery store, once upon a time, Greg Stroh, took me under his wing and kind of told me about things and stuff when I was probably, 17, 18, 19 years old or something, and told me about the ways he was a craft salesman back in the day. And a lot of what I've become in my life has become of guys like Greg Stroh, helping me out, bouncing questions off of. I graduated college and I would see him and I got some advice from him. And then I later worked with him at the Kraft Corporation for many years. Mm-hmm. And Greg, just a very nice guy. And he's semi-retired now, but I still talk to him about once a month. Probably we chat on the phone. And, I give him my issues of the day, and he helps me work through some of my problems. And it's nice to have guys like Greg Stroh, guys like my dad that have been in the salt mines that can help advise stuff. And I like to believe that I do that to the younger generation a lot of times. I don't have to do it as much anymore. My life's changed a little bit as far as that. You do it to
me every day.
I do. I give you. I advise you every single day. But it's always good to have mentors, and Greg was a great mentor to me. And Greg, shout out to him. He watches the videos. He comments on the videos. And there was no real questions this week. So I want to give my friend Greg Stroh a shout out. And hopefully I see him sooner rather than later. And I do remember when I had short hair. I do know I'm an amazing person, and I will keep on going strong, right? So. Something like that.
Now I feel like I'm underdressed for this question.
And in all honesty, I don't think Greg's going to watch this. I don't think he will. I think he just posted a comment, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But Greg Stroh, one of my favorite people. Cool to see a comment from him down here in the comments. And of course, you want to be the question of the week? Put it in the comments down below. You might get to be the question of the week next week, and I'm probably flying solo on the question of the week next week. Gage Octane won't be here for that.
I can maybe film it on the fly and send it to you.
We could FaceTime you. We could just FaceTime and have the camera. Yeah, maybe.
If it was for me.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. But Angie, looking only like she can look this
Back
week.
to the pool.
Everybody enjoy this. And Angie, you go to the pool. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I got one more video to film. Mm-hmm. And then I got to go pick up an action figure somewhere. Mm-hmm. And then I got to get back to a little bit of work, paperwork. And then I will get my Speedo on and I'll be in the pool with you very shortly here. So,
you never get in the pool.
Oh, I get in the pool. I was already in there once this summer.
Are you grossed out by pools?
I am grossed out by pools because
you never will go to a water park with me.
I used to like pools.
Can you imagine me asking you to go to a water park and you're like, no? Nope.
Everybody says no because there's too many people peeing in these pools, and I've swum into these warm spots way too many times, especially when you got kids and stuff. I don't know. And there's so many people with like gross things going on and athlete's foot. And I don't want to be a part of any of that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I don't know, something about it's almost like you're just wading in bathwater. And I know they got chlorine and all that stuff, but I don't trust these places. I just don't trust them. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird to me.
Now the nitrates in the water.
There's something about pools the last 20 years or something. It's just really turned me off. As I used to really enjoy kind of the water park. I didn't really like pools ever, but I like the slides and the water parks and the rides. I like that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's just something. And I'm always walking around barefoot, and I don't even like to be barefoot ever. I don't even like to wear bare feet around the house. I got socks on around the house. I don't like to be barefoot. I've never liked that. And something about walking on the concrete with my delicate feet. I got delicate feet. I don't got these calloused feet like you do to walk around.
Ew, I don't have calloused feet.
It doesn't hurt you. You can walk around barefoot. I can't do it. And then I feel really gross when you're waiting in line to go like down to the slide or something. You're waiting and it's like there's just water from people all day long walking in there, and you're standing in that water. And I just hate it. I'm like, there's something growing in this water. It's going to get on me. I'm going to get athlete's foot. It just drives me absolutely crazy. And then long story short, I could say why I don't like water a lot was because now you got me all worked up.
I know.
I'm all fired up. I was like 10 or 11 years old. Long story short, we should save this for the podcast, but it was like 4th of July weekend. My aunt and uncle had a boat club they belonged to where they would go boating. It was on the Mississippi River. I believe that was the river. Maybe it was the Missouri. No, it was the Mississippi, I think. Or maybe it was the Raccoon. Whatever. It was a river. And they were doing like tubing and stuff behind the boats and all this stuff. Do I need to tell this story?
Yeah,
I've gone too far. I've gone too far. And I got stung by a bee that day, which wasn't fun. It's never pleasant. But I fell off of the tube or whatever, like you do when you're skiing and stuff, you know? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, while you're talking, I'm deciding if I look cuter with my hat forward or backwards.
I'm distracted. I'm going to talk this way. No. So I fell off in the middle of this river, and I'm just sitting there, and they keep going. And I'm just like, what the heck? And they're not paying attention. This is back when I had really good eyesight because I was a kid, like an eagle eye. Mm-hmm. And they just kept going. Short hair. Yeah, and I had short hair. It all comes full circle. Mm-hmm. And I was hot because they were going off, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm just sitting here waiting in this, and it's gross, dirty water in these like lakes and streams and rivers. And there's like, all of a sudden there's like a tree branch comes floating by, and you think it's a big giant snake. And I am creeped out by snakes, especially water snakes. Tube snakes are your favorite, but water snakes just creep me out. And you can't see the water. It's not clear. Not like in the beaches of Bermuda or something. Mm-hmm. And it was just disgusting and gross. And I think a fish touched my foot. It was just a traumatic experience. I didn't cry. I never cried. I wasn't a crier. I don't want everybody to think that Kyle was sitting there in the middle of the river crying. I was not doing that. I was not doing any of that. But I was fired up. And I was fired up in that water. And I was so mad when they got me out of there. And I never jet skied. I never did any of that kind of stuff ever again.
Oh my gosh.
Ever again. I didn't want any part of it. I was like, I know what you guys will do. You'll leave me out there and I'll just be stuck out there. And I used
to love lake. This house should say lake life.
It really should.
We had very different feelings of the
water. You live on Lake Cornelia. One of the fanciest lakes.
Lake. I mean, that lake's been shut down for...
Yeah, I peed in it a couple
times.
What is
it? Like eco... What
Probably, yeah. I think I peed in it. I took a dump in it one time. It was great. It was
so many people have drowned in it. So many people have died.
Yeah,
in this
they
lake.
drown in the feces in the lake. It's disgusting. But Angie, our plan is, and this is more your plan, once we retire, this is Angie's thing. We're going to get like a little townhouse or a little something on a lake somewhere. Now, I don't want to get it on a expensive lake. We need something that's like, not too crazy, because I don't think it would be our primary residence. It'd be just, and if it is our primary, that's okay. But we don't need a huge mansion or anything, because all these toys will be long gone by then. It'll just be me and story time with Kyle 24/7. I'm going to have nothing to preoccupy my time, so you better be ready for that. I'm just going to be telling a story. Angie, did I tell you the one about third grade? You'll never forget parent-teacher conferences. Me and Joey Shambaugh, we were out on the jungle gym, and there was this guy. He was talking. No, I'll save that story, too.
Yeah.
But
when we're going on our grocery runs, splitting a tenderloin.
100%. Split that tenderloin sandwich, and then, the grocery store will have Wednesday. It'll be Senior Citizen Day. I'll be getting a deal on that day for sure. We pitched our pennies. We'll go on long walks, and we'll have a sack. We'll be picking up the cans to take back along the way. Because when you're old retiree, I hear from my dad all the time, you got to pinch those pennies. You just can't do that kind of stuff. So who are we fooling? I'm going to drop dead of stress, and you're just going to retire immediately. You're saying, here comes my life insurance. Here comes the 401k. Guess what? Lake life now. I'm done. That's what's going to happen. And then you're going to say, anybody want to buy all this stuff?
What the heck?
Uh-oh. No. I think you're okay. We're about finishing up here, I think. So she lost her microphone. You can just hold it and talk into it.
Oh my God.
It just snapped off. There's too much pressure in there. Too much pressure.
That probably sounded like.
Who knows what that sounded like? I bet it sounded good, though. I don't think anybody minded. There's a possibility of a slip in there. Might have to get the black bars in. You never know.
Oh my God.
But Angie, I'm glad you could really celebrate the 4th of July. We should make this a 4th of July tradition where every year you get a new bathing suit or something. I don't know.
Plenty.
People are going to say, Kyle,
but do I look cuter in my hat backwards or forwards, guys? Let me know.
Depends if you're going to do any raps.
Let me know in the comments.
Are you going to do any rap battles out in the backyard with the neighbors? Maybe the squirrels? If you're going to do that, I would definitely wear that. But Angie, looking good this week. We appreciate, I think we can all say we appreciated you coming for the question of the week this week. Somebody's going to accuse me. Oh, look at Kyle carting his wife out there for extra views. And I guess there's two ways I could go. I could do a traditional thumbnail and have this as a surprise, or I could use you as a thumbnail and see what kind of viewership gets for that. And then I'll be disappointed in every single one of you guys out there. You come here for me and my weekly purchases. You don't come here for these or these. You come here for this.
I bet if you put me as a thumbnail, we'll get monetized.
You come.
Monetized.
No, are you kidding me? They wouldn't do that. You come for Kyle's heart. You come to see me. You come to see Kyle in his Western wear, his patriotic shirt. Oh, geez, yeah,
we're cheeky. We're really cheeky.
Oh man, yeah. I don't have any pants on, but you don't see me. I'm gonna stand up. No, no. Oh my gosh, this is off the rails. We're 15 minutes. 15 minutes here.
It's your longest you've ever gone.
Good time. It is. Ooh, got me. You got me. It's true. It's true. Todd, what do you think? Todd's checking in from the couch. He's got a magnifying glass, a little binoculars going on there. He's getting really in there. So. Don't be flashing Todd once the camera stops rolling. I know how you do. You get him all worked up over there on the couch.
Todd just has to touch my feet.
Oh, that's true. You guys feet friends. On the couch, you guys are always pushing back and forth with your feet.
Do you remember doing that as a kid?
Oh, all the time. All the time you had to. And you just...
Who has stronger legs?
Who's got stronger legs? Well, we can maybe Indian leg wrestle or whatever it's called later after this. And maybe something else. We'll do something else too. Who knows? But I'm going to keep filming videos. And Angie, you're going to go back out to the pool. Hopefully the neighbors all enjoy the show. We'll see what happens there. But that's it. That's question of the week. Angie, we're all going to miss you next week, but you more than made up for it this week. I hope you have a good 4th of July. I'll see you in a little bit. Angie, you want to leave anybody with anything? You got anything you want to leave the people with?
No.
You've left them with enough. You truly said it all. You truly said it all. So for question of the week, and if you want to be the question of the week, put it in the comments down below. But Angie, now it's time for the weekly purchases. All right, time for round number 1 of weekly purchases. And how do we follow up that? I don't know, but we're going to dive into it. And I did finally find the shippers. Check out my Friday toy hunt. Best of times, worst of times. At least I found some stuff, but I didn't find everything. So as of right now, still on the hunt for some stuff. But I did find some superstars. I did get Ricky the Dragon, the Steamboat. I did get a minty Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, the extra caveat for me is I got to find, of course, unpunched mint edition and a copy to unbox. So I already unboxed Jake. Now I got a minty unpunched. So I'm set for Jake. Unfortunately, Jake has a chase. So it's going to be even harder to find a minty chase that's unpunched. on top of 1 to open. We'll just have to see what happens. I did get, of course, Kevin Nash, Big Daddy Cool himself, Diesel. Got him through the door and also got another one. So I got one that's beat up, one that has a little curve. We'll see, but I got 2 Diesels for now. Also got 1 Iron Sheik, of course, really bent, so I'll unbox Iron Sheik. And then I got a really beat up Great Muta, but I will unbox this one. Now, once again, Great Muta being the chase. I got to track down a chase to open, and I'm fine. Get me a damaged one, that's good. But man, I got to find an unpunched Great Muta chase. That is not going to be easy. That is not going to be easy for me. But we're not done. It's wrestling in round 1, round 2, everything else. Target clearance events of a generation going on right now. Did pick up a $13 Sting for my mid-on-card Sting collection. I'm a little stinger, you guys know me. And then we're not done. Some new basics. Basic 156 Chelsea Green. I believe this is the Chase, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So I got the Chase Chelsea. And then I also got Joaquin Wild. Yes, he's just wilding out right there. Got him through the door this week. And then we're not done. We got Jerry the King Lawler from the Monday Night Wars. Probably one of the easier ones to get, but I did get Jerry the King Lawler, part of the Ted DiBiase Build-A-Figure set. Still looking for Great Muta ×2. Got to get the Chase in regular edition. Hopefully this week I track him down. But we're not done. Monday Night Wars. Got Albert. How about big old Albert right there looking good. So we got him through the door. Good to see him. Also got a clearance event. Once again, Target clearance, $23 Ultimate Hulk Hogan. We are giving one away on the channel this month for Patreon, but I needed another one in my collection, so I grabbed that one along the way. Also this week, oh baby, it's official. Through the door, Chase Edition Terry Funk from possibly my favorite match of all time. It's right there with Warrior and Hogan is Funk Flair. I Quit match. Cannot wait to unbox this story. Gonna tell a tale as old as time. Tell you my story of this match for little Kyle. Absolutely happy to have that through the door. I love this figure so much. Also got the clearance Godfather. You knew me. I needed a Godfather on clearance because I just needed the glasses. Can you believe that? Oh, the things we do. But I got a clearance Godfather this week. Not sure what to do with the rest of Godfather. Sell it for parts, customize it, make the Todd Father figure maybe? Maybe? Yeah, we'll see. Also, last 2 things for wrestling this week. We already unboxed it on the channel. FTR, the 1 of 3,000 Jazzwares Vault exclusive, unboxed on the channel, looking good. And last, but certainly not least, what do we got? We got John Cena. Yes, John Cena through the house this week. San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Once again, shout out to Mattel for sending this my way to check it out. I appreciate that very, very much. I will be buying another copy from Mattel Creations on the 24th when it goes live on the Mattel Creations website. But there it is. That's round number 1 of weekly purchases. Now it's time for round number 2. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop the clock. Just got back home, and of course the mail was here. And I forgot all about mail day. Got some stuff through the mail today. Gonna dive through that. We're gonna start it off with Mondo Spider-Man body. Now, no hands, no head, but as we do know, it comes with many of those with the pack. It is the replacement body for that messed up Spider-Man that most of us got with Mondo. A costly mistake by Mondo, but shout out to them for making it right. Obviously, I have extra hands and heads, plop them on there, and I kind of have 2 Spider-Men at that point. By not perfect, but kudos to Mondo. A costly mistake, but thankfully they did make it right for everybody. So we do appreciate that. Also, picked up an unpunched mint-on card Zeus. Getting closer and closer to getting all these superstars done. Got Zeus right there. Also, Monday Night Wars, Hollywood, Hulk Hogan through the door. How about that? Getting closer and closer. I need Great Muta and Great Muta Chase still. And then I need the Chase Great Muta unpunched and one to open. And I need the regular Great Muta Superstars unpunched as well. So hopefully I can find that stuff. We'll see what ends up happening there. But I do got to give a special shout out through the mail today as well. Good friend of the channel, Adam Hooper over there in the UK, sent me something special, sent me a nice little note, and he even said, "Hey, Carl." And he's been listening to some of my stories with Storytime with Kyle, because I had a science teacher once upon a time, could not say Kyle to save his life, would just call me Carl. Carl, Carl. And then my dad would do it, and it's carried on here from Adam. But Adam sent me quite a lot of cool stuff right here. He sent me some Pro Wrestling Crate t-shirts here, and I do not have either of these. Extra large as well. Looking good. A little big, but I'm in that weird size where sometimes I'm a large, sometimes an extra large. It depends on the shirt size. But it is Parts Unknown t-shirt right here. Very cool to see that. You know me, I love Parts Unknown. And then a very cool crossover shirt here. Of course, the War Horse once upon a time. a favorite of mine on the indie circuit. Seen him perform many times over the years. An Iron Maiden inspired tee for Warhorse. So I thought that was really cool. So he sent me both of those, but he wasn't done. He sent me 2 figures I need. Look at this one. He sent this from across the sea, like a young Weezer once upon a time. Sent me John Cena, the translucent one. Still on the hunt for this. So this is checked off my list now. I appreciate the assist on that one there. Clear John Cena looking good. And last but certainly not least, another one I've been playing the long game on. It is the Lyra Valkyria. I got the regular one. We unboxed it on the channel, but now I got the Chase version. So I've been after that Chase version as well. So we'll unbox both of these on the channel here. So Adam, I got to give you a special thank you for thinking of me on my birthday and stuff. Very, very cool. Very fun. Definitely didn't have to do that, but I definitely do appreciate it. So there it is. Another round of weekly purchases. All right, time for round number 2 of weekly purchases, the final round this week in our 4th of July weekly purchases extravaganza special episode, of course. But let's dive into it. Let's start a little McFarlane Toys. Todd from the couch picked these up there. They were on sale on clearance, $89 for the whole set. I had a $25 gift card, plus I used code MTS10 to save 10% off the entire order. Can we get a Kyle code over there at McFarlane, Todd? Maybe. We'll talk about it at San Diego Comic-Con. All right, we'll add it to the list there. But I did get the Justice League sets, Platinum Editions. I couldn't resist it for like $50 shipped. So I did get Aquaman, did get Superman, did get Batman, and then, of course, last but certainly least, I did get the Flash, of course, Darkseid Build-A-Figure as well. We'll unbox these on Kyle Peterson 2.0, probably 2 at a time is what we'll do over there. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to that channel along the way. And now I did get the first series of something I've been waiting for very patiently, finally through the door. Lion-O, Thundercats Masters Universe crossover. Lion-O through the door right there. We got Cheetara. How about Cheetara looking good there? And of course, last but not least, Battle Catman. Very interesting idea here, but Battle Catman through the door as well. First series, we're going to unbox them on the channel this week. Stay tuned for that. Then we got Turtles of Grayskull this week. Found this just chilling at the pegs on a country Walmart. I needed another King Hiss. Needed this in my collection. We already unboxed this a couple of months ago, but I wanted to display both looks, so I did grab that this week as well at my local Walmart. And then, of course, 4th of July, you have to have something special for 4th of July, and this was a special 4th of July unboxing. I saw this, ended up using my code, and of course, saving 15% over at Jay's. Red, white, and blue, of course. A little Mistress Elvira. Elvira, of course, as we know her. Red, Fright, and Boo, I should say. But a patriotic 4th of July Elvira. Figured this would be great for a 4th of July unboxing. Check out the review on the channel right now. And then I did, unfortunately, order an extra heavy duty. I may give this away. I don't know. We haven't done a traditional giveaway in a while. Maybe I'll give this heavy duty away. I don't know if I have to do it via Instagram. It never works right giving away things on YouTube because you put something in the comments and you say, okay, email me. Well, it was me. Well, how do you know it was really you? So you got to kind of do it through Instagram or something like that. But we're going to give this heavy duty away, I think. I just got to figure out the best way to do it. And then what in return can I get? Can I get you to follow? Can I get you to check out the podcast? Whatever it may be. But heavy duty might be coming to one of you as well. This week, I was all about Friday the 13th, apparently. It was the 13th episode of my podcast last week, so maybe it made me look into that a little bit more. But I did get 2 NECA Jason figures this week, and now I feel like I'm going to get all the NECA Jason figures. We'll see what happens there. But I did get 2 of them this week. Playing a little long game, getting that deal game. Of course, jaystoysandgames.com, saving 15% helps on things like this. And I think we got one last thing, and this is the plot twist of the week right here. Man, I got caught at a weak moment at Jay's, ended up picking this one up. What am I doing with my life? I've never had a more confusing toy line that I've collected, stopped collecting, stopped collecting, stopped collecting, seemingly every single series. But here we go once again. Why wouldn't we dive into Robert Stack himself? It's truly an unsolved mystery. Dare I say a conspiracy? It is Ultra Magnus, Studio 86, Transformers. Picked this one up. Of course, last week I talked about it. I pre-ordered Grimlock and I pre-ordered Megatron. Now I'm like, I better get the Studio 86 Optimus Prime. I need to get Devastator, and then I'm going to try to call it quits right there. But then I need Hot Rod. Oh my gosh, I don't know. What am I doing? I'm not exactly sure. But there it is. That is the weekly. Whoa! And we got Ace. My dog Ace, my camera every once in a while juggles a little bit. Ace just came in here hot. He just ate his lunch outside and he came running down here and hit the camera. So a little wiggle right there on the 4th of July. And Ace, I can't smell, but you smell. He's been rolling in something in the yard. I know that smell anywhere, but that is the weekly purchases. What did you guys grab this week? Let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully everybody had a good 4th of July that celebrates, of course. And then we'll be back next week with more weekly purchases, more toy news, more reviews, more everything under the sun. But make sure you do like this video. Make sure you do subscribe to this channel, my other channel. Check out the Patreon. Check out YouTube channel memberships. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, TheKylePetersonShow @gmail.com. And of course, my new podcast each and every Tuesday where podcasts are found, videocast on YouTube. So you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling back into another work week.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
Get that wheel